Hi everyone, I hope you guys are all well. As you can see, I've got a bit of a new look. I've got new glasses. I've never worn my glasses actually in any of my videos previously, my old glasses, should I say. But I really like these and I'm still getting used to them, and I'm wearing them as much as I can in a day to get used to them. So you'll just have to deal with a bit of lens flare or reflection of my laptop on my glasses. Going forward, I might carry on use them in my videos. I don't know, but let me know if they're a bit annoying or whatever, and I'll think about not wearing them in future. But if you want to say anything nice about my glasses, please do. I like them very much. So because I finally have new glasses, I have finally been able to read properly in the evenings, because it's been so bad that without, say with my old glasses, that I haven't been able to like sit and read a lot, or in the evenings such my eyes are just so tired and so strained. So I've been breaking my routine, and I got these Wednesday evening. I started wearing them on Thursday, and as soon as I started wearing them, my headaches were gone. I was doing a full day of work and yet didn't feel tired. I've been feeling really, really good, and so I started to read The Couple Next Door on Thursday, and I finished it yesterday morning. I only had like 2 chapters left on yesterday was Saturday. I only had like 2 chapters left for Saturday morning, so the majority I read over those 2 evenings. And so so now it's time to talk about it. Now, to start off with, thrillers are books that I don't tend to read. It's not because I don't like the genre, it's just I have more interest in other areas. So going into this week, I mean, like a friend, like The Girl Next Door, and not Girl Next Door, sorry, Girl on a Train, that's it. Girl Next Door, what am I talking about? It's because that's called The Couple Next Door. Books like that have had quite big focus on, I've read, but I don't instantly go to the thriller section in Waterstones or any other bookshop. It's over there, but I just don't have an interest in it. So in a sense, I was going into this as kind of sort of newbie to the genre. So there was that factor. Another thing was I tend to read books that are written in third person. Very, very rare do I read books that are in first or second. So this book is written first person. That's not a bad thing. I just want to clarify. It's not like I go, oh, it's first person, I'm never going to touch that and we'll walk away. Nothing like that. But it was just a bit, it overemphasized certain issues that I had with the writing, because it was in a different person perspective. But that's just me. That's just, just wanted to get that out there for a start. So I kind of went into this going, okay, so it's first person, it's from a genre that I don't usually read. It's quite big text on the page, so it's not got much substance to it. Okay, let's see how we go. And everything that I thought it was going to be, it was. And by that, I mean, it was beige. Now, if you know me, you'll know that whenever I refer to a beige book, it's a book with no real substance. It's neither here nor there. It's all right, but it's got issues. It's got serious issues. It's a thriller without thrill. Or at least to me it was. Now, of course, just as with all my reviews, this is my opinion only. Other people may love this book, or other people may completely and utterly hate it. Or you've got people like me that are in the middle, where I'm going, it's all right, but it's not amazing. It's not the worst that I've ever read. It's just meh. It's beige. I would never read it again. Let's put it that way. Right, so I had issues with the way that it was written. It read more like a screenplay. It's written in very short sentences, and each paragraph is probably made up of about 4, maybe 5 sentences max. So you've got this odd structuring, and it's quite jarring. I really thought I was reading screenplay, and I'll just give you an example. So this is chapter 5, so we're looking at Marco and Anne. Oh, I should say what this book is about. I just realised that I've gone this far and not say what the book is about. So sorry, guys. So the couple next door is about Marco and Anne, who are at a dinner party with their neighbours, their next door neighbours, Cynthia and Graham. Cynthia, she very much doesn't like babies. She doesn't allow Anne and Marco to bring their baby daughter, their 6-month-old daughter, to the party. So they've agreed that they'll go to the party. They've got baby monitor because their babysitter cancelled at the last minute due to a family bereavement. They'll go every half hour, alternate every half hour, go to see the baby, check she's all right. They've got the monitor, all that lot, and they're having party, and it's going all right, but Anne wants to leave. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and they go to their house and find that the baby's gone, and it's all about the investigation of where the baby is, what happened, who's lying, who's telling the truth, all that jazz. Okay, so now you know. So they've gotten home, they found the baby's gone, the detectives, investigating, and Anne's parents have arrived at the house. So here's an example of the writing. Marco feels like an outcast. It's a feeling he often gets when Anne's parents are in the room. Even now, with Cora missing, he is ignored, while the 3 of them, his distraught wife, her always composed mother, and the overbearing father, slip into their familiar 3-person alliance. Sometimes their exclusion from him is subtle, sometimes it's not. But then again, he knows what he's getting into when he married her. He thought it was a deal that he could live with. He stands at the side of the living room, useless, and watches Anne. She's seated in the middle of the sofa, her mother at her side, pulling Anne in for comfort. Her father is more aloof, sitting up straight, patting his daughter on the shoulder. No one looks at Marco. No one offers him comfort. Marco feels out of place in his own house. But worse than that, he feels sick, horrified. All he wants is his little Cora back in her crib. He wants all of this never to have happened. See, I read that, and I think it's the combination of the short, sharp sentences and the description, the way that she's chosen to write it, that there's a disconnection for me from the character. The emotion isn't there. So it reads like in descriptions of a screenplay, and occasionally you'll see lines get put in, but it feels completely emotionless. And especially in a situation like that with a missing child, I would have thought that it would have more of a depth to it, more of an urgency. It would be a thriller with thrill, but it doesn't have the thrill. It's all just so odd. All the characters are really horrible. I mean, even Anne, you could say. Anne is the only one who kind of has a form of sanity throughout this whole story. She's, the mother of the missing child. But then at the same time, there's a lot of stuff to do with her past, and why won't anyone talk about it? And if, for God's sake, everyone is just so nasty and cruel, and I kind of feel like I really want everyone to get their own comeuppance. I really do. This is so wrong. Obviously some people get comeuppances and some people don't, because just like life, that kind of happens, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, well, that was really disappointing. Why I have sat here and gotten through, how many pages is it? It was like 350 about 350 pages. For what? It was just, this is kind of thing that you see at WH Smith in the airports for like £1 for you to take on holiday on a beach. For that situation, it's perfect. For just like me, because I actually got this on offer on Amazon after my sister recommended that I read it, so I only paid like £2.50 or something for it. Honest to God, I wish I'd not paid a penny. I I mean I it was okay, but it didn't have any substance to it. I don't know why it's so popular, this book. I don't understand why she did what she did with with the writing. I don't understand what the point of this story is. And the ending, I was kind of annoyed with the ending. Okay, you could say the ending's clever, because totally, I understand that. But if, because there was a scene in the kitchen, I won't say what happened. There was a scene in the kitchen, and then there's a scene in the living room, and it's all part of the same chapter. In the kitchen, because it's based around a kitchen island, she talks about an object. Because as soon as she mentioned that object, I knew what was going to happen. I could just see it coming from a mile off. If she had written the entire chapter the way it is, but taken out that sentence, then it would have been a really, really, oh my God moment in the living room. Because you wouldn't have had that build up and knowing the tension and what was going to happen. Yeah, if she took that sentence out, I would have respected the ending more than I do currently. So for a book that it's poorly written, it reads like a screenplay. All the characters are terrible. The dialogue isn't that strong either. The characters completely ignore the elephant in the room. The structure, the actual events of the story were boring throughout. I didn't feel shocked once, and this is supposedly the best thriller of the year, and a #1 bestseller, and I'm deeply regretting spending £2.50 on it. I really have absolutely no interest in reading this again. I have no interest to read more from the author, from Sheri Lapena. I didn't feel, a twisty, utterly riveting tale. I disagree with that. Entirely compelling, utterly realistic. Yeah, right. You'll not see the twist coming. I saw the ending. I thought the read it in one sitting thing was a cliche, not anymore. Now, to be fair, right, so as I said, about 350 pages, I read that in 2 evenings, so probably about 6 to 8 hours max I read over this book in. So you could seriously do this in a day very easily. It because of the way it was written, it was so easy to read, so quick read. So if you do want a quick read, yeah, you could do that. But the story is just, yeah. With its characters acting in the worst ways possible and a plot that speeds through to a hell of a climax, you can't not read it. Yeah, okay, yeah, the characters do act in the worst possible way. I mean, there's some decisions that characters do, and I can understand the whole realistic to life, that would you really react this way in this situation sort of thing, but at the same time, I just want to, like, bang their heads together or slap them across the face and go, what the hell are you doing? It just didn't work for me at all. I'd never read it again. I wouldn't recommend it. I just, no. And that's all I can think of to say about The Couple Next Door. sorry, but it just, I just, no. Loads of people in my office have read this, and they were talking about how amazing it was, and I don't understand at all. I don't know if it's because I read a whole range of genres of books, and I don't know if it's just because of my disconnection from thriller or that, but Girl on the Train, I that's from thriller, and I liked that, and the way that that was written and everything, I thought that was good. So it can't be necessarily a genre thing, but I don't know if it's like I've come from reading like War and Peace and Anna Karenina and stuff like this to reading this. it's jarring. But yeah, it didn't work for me. So those are my thoughts on The Couple Next Door. Have you read this book? I'd love to know what you think. Leave me a comment in the comments box below. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell me what you like to decide. And I'll be back shortly to announce what book I'm going to be reading next, which will be non-fiction. Alright guys, bye.